Hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. All right, let's see if we can get some people invited. See if we can get some people invited. Hello, hello. If you were here, give me a shout out. I'm just trying to invite as many people as I can. Trying. I could keep going down the list. Okay. If you didn't get an invite, it's not because I don't love you. It's not because I don't love you. It's because I do love you. It's just Facebook won't let me. It's too many. It's like the list is too long. I wish it would let me invite like everybody. Invite everybody in the group. Okay. Let me say hello. Hello, Morgan. Hello, Mo. You found me. I'm so glad you found me. Hey, Robin. Hey, Sarah. Yay, early lunch. Thank you for the shout out today, Sarah. Your post was just beautiful and it touched my heart. Thank you so much for that. Amy. Hello. I'm glad that you're excited for this because we got some powerful PowerPoints today. We've got some PowerPoints today. I've actually got 6 written down. I've actually got 6 PowerPoints written down today. So who knows? You know how it goes with me. I could be at the end of the live stream and be like, okay, I got 3 more. But I definitely have 6 PowerPoints that I want to talk about today. Hi, Allison. Hello. I probably should remove this gum out of my mouth. But it tasted so good. It tasted so good. Okay. So I had a crazy dream last night. I want to start this off with my crazy dream. I had a crazy dream last night. We're at a coffee. Our coffee maker broke. I had 1 cup of coffee this morning and our coffee maker broke. Oh, good. I had a crazy dream. So I want to share the dream, and then I want to share the tidbit that my son gave me from the dream. And I got the crazy glasses on today. I have not worn the crazy glasses in a while. The horror, it was a horror dream. So I am, as an empathic person, like my family, I have a crazy family. My family likes to watch scary, gory, gooey kind of movies, right? And as an empathic person, I can't handle the movies that are like torture movies. You know, the movies that are torture movies, I have to like run outside and go, no. I don't hear it. And I like convincing myself, it's just a movie. I can't watch them, right? So this family knows that I like the whole torture scenario thingy like really fucks me up, right? I can't watch it. So I have a dream last night that I got kidnapped, and I was kidnapped by my spirit guides, right? And in the dream, they weren't my spirit guides. They were people I knew. And hung out with. And the one main character in the dream, I knew to be like my ex-boyfriend and someone I loved and trusted and all this stuff, right? So the ex-boyfriend was like at the hub of all of this. They had kidnapped me. And they were getting ready to torture me. They were getting ready to torture me, right? So they had like all their little torture tools and all this stuff, and I was being held prisoner. And one part of the dream that I remember so well is I remember I was wrapped up in this giant white blanket. I was wrapped up in this giant white blanket. And the main spirit guide who was like at the hub of this, who was like my ex-lover in the dream, I remember looking at him and thinking, oh my God, I trusted you so much. Like I remember thinking how much I trusted him and like, why are you doing this, right? Why is this happening? And so he had like a taser gun, and he was trying to tase me with the taser gun, but he was like hitting it on the blanket and it wouldn't go off. Like it would not go off, right? So he was tasing me, but it wouldn't go off. And then he's just like, finally, he was like, forget it, stop, right? So he stopped, he puts down the taser gun. And then I go over, I pick up the taser gun, and I put it on my leg, and I shock the shit out of myself. And I can remember feeling it in the dream, right? And I woke up and I was like, what in the world? What in the world? So I was talking to my son over my one cup of coffee. Over my one cup of coffee. And I was like, I had the craziest dream. And so I'm telling him the dream, right? And I'm telling him that, like, you know, the dude couldn't tase me. So I, like, tried to tase myself. And my son was like, yeah. He's like, that makes complete sense. And I'm like, it makes complete sense. He's like, Mom, where are you torturing yourself? And I went, you little shit. You little shit. Right? He's like, I think it's a really positive message, Mom. He's like, I think it's trying to let you know that oftentimes, when other people can't get to us, you know, that we have a tendency to torture ourselves. And I was like, oh my God, no, you just didn't like hammer down the guidance. You just didn't hammer down the guidance. He's like, yeah, Mom, I've got this too. I got this too, Mom. Yeah. So I was really, really thinking about it. And I was thinking about it in relation to what we're doing here. And I was thinking about, you know, so many of us are trying to reach certain goals. We're trying to become more active in our communities. We're trying to be seen more, right? And the whole idea that coming out into public is that when we come out into public, right? When we come out into public, we really, the perceptions that we think that people have on us is really about ourselves. Like, when you think, you know, I put this out and people don't like it, or people are not attracted to me, or people don't, you know, yada, 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 like, what you think other people think about you is how you actually think about yourself, right? It's a perception mind game, right? There have been times where I thought, you know, certain people would think certain things, or certain people thought certain things, and then come to find out, I was really pleasantly surprised at what those people really thought. And so I in that level, I decided to let go of the idea of what I think people think of me. And as I was really starting to think about this morning, the PowerPoint number one came to me, is that there are going to be things that happen to us in our life. This is not the PowerPoint one yet. There's going to be things that happen to us in our life. There's going to be things that we have to expand from, grow from, learn from, right? But you get to decide. Here's the PowerPoint. You get to decide your level of torture. Somebody else doesn't get to decide your level of torture. You get to decide your level of torture, right? So that person could be like, you know, causing all kinds of shit for you. That person could be causing you grief, or maybe that person isn't causing anything at all, but you're taking all of it, right? You're taking all of it, and you are internalizing it. so to say. You're internalizing it. And you keep it spinning, and you keep it spinning, and you keep it spinning, and you keep it spinning. And while they've got the taser gun at you and you're all bundled up, right? They got the taser gun at you, nothing's happening. You can literally take that taser gun and slap it right down there on your leg, right? So you get to decide your level of torture. Good morning. Am I going to allow this to infiltrate my being? Am I going to allow it to infiltrate my next steps? How am I torturing myself? Forget what anybody else is doing to me. What am I taking from it, and how am I torturing myself, right? PowerPoint number 1. You get to decide your level of torture. It's pretty powerful when you put it that way. It's pretty powerful. That dream was pretty powerful when it all opened up, right? So stop torturing yourself. Stop having ideas. And this is all going into the quantum shifts, because it's all a matter of perception, right? It's all a matter of perception. And what are you doing in those moments where you're torturing yourself? And how are you torturing yourself? And how are you letting it continue to roll? Let it go. Let it go. What other people think of you, it's not like it's none of your business. You have no idea. You have no idea, right? You have no idea if somebody else's perception of you is based on their own belief. You have no idea what this person's really thinking, right? Good morning. This was me yesterday on my way to court for a ticket. Tay, why are you punishing yourself? Yes. Yes. The ticket happened. You have a ticket, And then I bet you're on the way to court going, all the things that could be happening with this ticket. All the things that could be happening with this ticket, right? Instead of just saying, you know what? This is for my benefit. There's going to be something on the other side of this that's going to be more positive. Maybe getting this ticket, if it was a speeding ticket, maybe it's going to save my life because it's going to slow me down. Maybe getting the ticket in that moment saved my life, There's all kinds, everything's working out for us. Everything is for our benefit, right? This is what our PowerPoint from yesterday was. So when you start getting in that space, decide your level of torture. Are you going to torture yourself? Are you going to? Are you going to let somebody else's drama or some experience torture who you are at the core level? Right? No. No. You get to decide your level of torture. Okay. Moving on. Moving on. So one of the things that I'm also seeing from this challenge, I am loving your responses. I know I can't comment to all of them. I've not been able to comment on all of them, but I am logging them. I am paying attention to them, and I'm loving the responses. I mean, true. Yes. I'm loving the level of responses. Now, there's a couple of people. There's a couple of people who have messaged me or even put in their post and about the need to be better, the need to get better or to be better. I need to be better in this. I need to get better in this. I need to, I need to be better, right? So one of the things that I want to say to you is this. PowerPoint number 2. You don't need to be better. You need to recognize your potential. So I recognize this. And I think this is like conditioning that we've had our whole life, right? I think this is conditioning that we had our whole life. You got to get better at this. You got to get better at that. You got to get better at this. You got to get better at that. So about a month ago, I was going through my own I need to get better kind of thing. And I was thinking about my groups like this one, right? And I was, thank you, Amy. I was thinking about groups, even like this one. And I was thinking, God, I was thinking about like where my gifts lied, where my strengths where my strengths are. And I was like really focusing on my strengths. And then that caused me to focus on what I needed to get better at, right? And so I'm like, oh my God, I really suck at groups. I really suck at groups. I need to get better. And so, or I need to like just not do groups anymore. And of course I want to do groups, but I was like, I really suck in showing up at groups. Like I'm really sucking at this, right? And I'm like going over this conversation, I'm journaling it, I'm meditating on it. I need to get better in groups. I need to get better in groups. And my guys popped in and was like, you're amazing. You're amazing. You don't need to be better at anything. And like, I don't need to be better? And they're like, no. Look, you have the ability to learn new things all the time, to acquire new skills. You have the ability to learn how to maximize your potential. I love you, Morgan. You have the ability to maximize your potential. What do you mean you need to be better? You're amazing, right? Recognize your potential. Recognize what you can do with this amazingness. Recognize what you can learn from it. Recognize that when you set your sights on a goal, that it can be achieved. Bringing in the airs. I don't know what Spirit's trying to come through, but I recognize you, Spirit. Thank you for being here. So it isn't that I need to be better. Like when I start telling myself that I need to be better, then there's something within me that's saying I'm not good enough. There's something within me that's saying that I'm not enough. Or there's something within me that's saying that I'm not amazing just as I am. I'm not amazing just as I am. Of course I'm amazing just as I am. But I can also, within that space, recognize my potential. The words I need to get better need to come out of our vocabulary. We need to remove those words out of our vocabulary. You don't need to be better. You just need to recognize your potential. You need to recognize your amazingness. You need to recognize just how amazing you are. And when you begin to recognize what all your true strengths are and your strength of learning and your strength of capabilities, then the things that you want to make better just become better because you're in an action principle moving towards them. Does that make sense? So like a lot of times, like we're in this hustle mentality. Hustle, hustle, hustle. I've been talking about this a lot. Hustle, 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 right? And so as we are in our hustle mode, it's like this got to be done, 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 this got to be done. And when we do it from the psychic ego place, when we do it from the hustle mentality, analytical mind space, then it's not really in alignment, right? But if I can come in and recognize my potential in my creative space of mind, then it's going to cause me to want to do more. It's going to cause me to want to do more. And so what I did, even with this group, I was like, you got over 6,000 people in this group, 6,000 amazing people in this group that want to grow, that want to share, that want to expand, that want to know what you know or learn what you want to teach, or maybe they want to share with you. There's all kinds of energy here. How do you feel about it? And I can remember the moment that I went back and I remember the moment that I actually created this group. Now, I don't know how many of you have heard this story, but the moment that I created this group, I think it was like 5 years ago, at the top of my head. It might have been longer than that. But the moment I created this group, I actually called it Growing Spiritually. That was the original name of this group. And when I created it, I was super excited about it because I was recognizing within my own potential that when we start developing spiritual awareness and start going through our shifting, that there's growing pains, right? And so I wanted this group to be a hub for those who are growing spiritually and opening up their awakening and actually experiencing some of those growing pains. And I was really super excited about this group. And my mentor at the time laughed at me and says, "It sounds like a church group." I was like, "What do you mean it sounds like a church group?" She's like, "Nobody's going to want to join that group." Nobody is gonna. My mentor at the time, it's longer than 5 years. It's got to be 7 years. My mentor at the time told me that nobody would join this group, that nobody would want to be a part of this group. And I said, that's actually when she actually stopped becoming my mentor, by the way. Just FYI, that's when she stopped becoming my mentor. But she had told me that it sounded like a church group. She laughed at me and told me that nobody would want to join. And I was like, you know what? I don't care if anybody joins. I don't care if 5 people join, then I'm going to love those 5 people. If 10 people join, I'm going to love those 10 people. If 100 people join, I'm going to love those 100 people. But I am letting go. I'm letting go. I'm going to put all of my love into this group. And so I do this little pink light. You guys hear me talking about it all the time. I do this little pink light thing. And so every day I would come in and I would pink light my page. I would pink light this group. I'd pink light it, I'd pink light it, I'd pink light it. And over time it grew. It grew and it grew and it grew. And of course people wanted to join this group. Of course people wanted to join this group. For not just for me, but for all the other women and men that were a part of it. All the people that were a part of it. All the people that were sharing. All the people that were teaching. All the people that were a part of this amazing community, right? So when I started thinking about I suck at groups, I was like, hell no, you don't suck at groups. Actually, you're very good at groups. You just need to recognize your potential. You let other things become more important, right? You let other things become more important. It's not that you need to be better. You're damn good at this. You're damn good at this. You just need to refocus in on your group and maximize your potential there. Maximize their potential. Maximize your potential. Which is when the Mystical Arena started changing hands. Like it changed from Spiritually Motivated to the Mystical Arena, and it got a little bit of a facelift and all of that. So it's not that we need to be better. It's just that we need to recognize our potential and recognize that when we're in alignment, we're going to want to do those things, right? We're going to want to do the things that we're set out to do. And if it feels really super hard and it feels really super difficult, then maybe you want to look at that and see if it is in alignment. See if it is in alignment, right? See if it is something that's in alignment for you. And if it's not, you can ask yourself, is it worth getting this thing in alignment? Because I think a lot of people think, okay, it's not in alignment, I'm just going to trash it. You need to ask yourself, is it worth getting this thing in alignment? How do I feel about pulling it into alignment? Now, I know that I am going to, if I'm going to pull it into alignment, I recognize that there's going to be things that I'm going to set out to do. I get to recognize and maximize my potential in it. But am I ready for that? Am I prepared for that? Am I excited about that? Am I jazzed about that? And if the answer is yes, then get that thing in alignment. If the answer is no, put it off. Get rid of it. Because it's totally okay to let things go. Sometimes when they're not in alignment, they're never going to be in alignment, and you have no reason to pull them into alignment, right? I've changed, and my focus has changed so much since I started out. I've been rolling, changing my group name around my head the last few days. Do it. Do it. Now I want to go back in and grow my group. Do it. Do it, right? Ask yourself, what is the reason that you created this place to begin with? Usually it's because you want to be of service. Usually it's because you want to do stuff like this, right? Because you want to get involved in your community. You want to uplift and motivate and empower your community, right? So ask yourself, why did I start this to begin with? You don't need to be better. You don't need to be better. You're amazing. You're amazing. And the exercise that we're going to do today is going to show you just how amazing you really, really are. You're amazing. At the base of you is love. At the soul core level is unconditional love. You have amazing potential. You have amazing potential. All you got to do is get the things in alignment and recognize your potential. So that's power point number 2. I don't need to be better. I need to recognize my potential. If this live stream goes a little bit over, I apologize. I got a lot of stuff in my brain. I got a lot of stuff in my brain because I just don't want to give you a quantum shift exercise and say, here you go. Have fun. Like, my guides are like throwing stuff at me all morning. They've been throwing stuff. They're like, right? So I think this goes part of it. I think this is a part of it. Okay. Take a breath. Okay, those things are going to go with the exercise. Oh, another thing I want to say. And this is going to be PowerPoint number 3. You can't get it wrong. You can't get it wrong. So I've had a couple people message me. I had a couple people on the post be like, am I doing this right? Am I doing it right? And the answer is yes. You did it perfectly. You can't get it wrong. You can't get it wrong. Whatever is happening because why? Because it's beneficial. So if you took the exercise and you designed it around what your intuitive mindset had designed it around, and everyone sort of did do it a little bit differently, and that's totally okay. And I'm talking about the day one post. I think everyone sort of did do it a little differently. Who cares? You can't get it wrong. If it meant something to you in that moment, if it was an intuitive pull, and that's what you got from the live stream, and that's what you put onto your piece of paper, then it's not wrong. It's right. You can't get it wrong. Okay? So we need to let go. You got to get out of the box. We're in a damn box, right? And this is why coaching is so important. This is why friendship is so important. This is why, supportive people are so important. Because in our own perceptions and if our own lives, we sort of see everything inside the box, right? What's in the box? If you're going to go for it, go all the way. History can't repeat itself twice. What if just means that you have not tried? Exactly. Sarah! Okay, what's in the box, people? What's in the box, right? Oftentimes what's in our box is our own perceptions. And when you allow yourself the time and space to step out of the box, fuck the box, right? If you allow yourself to step out of the box and look in the box and look at it from the creative mind space, am I doing that right? Yeah, the creative mind space that you have. If you're looking in the box, you can see things a little bit differently. You can't get it wrong. You gotta stop. Oh my God, I'm wrong. Oh my God, I'm better. I gotta get better. I'm wrong. No, you can't get it wrong. Everything you do in that moment that you're doing it, is it to your maximized potential? Are you recognizing your potential when you're doing it, right? And if you are, and you're putting your heart and your intuitive base into it, you're not getting it wrong. You're not getting it wrong. There are no rules, right? Only PowerPoints. There are no rules, only PowerPoints. So you can't get it wrong. And that brings me to PowerPoint number 4. That brings me to PowerPoint number 4 because this is an important part of the transitioning to quantum shift. This brings me to point number 4, which is, before I say that, how many of you have heard it's okay to be selfish? How many of you heard it's okay to be selfish? It's okay. It's okay to be selfish. It's okay to be selfish. It's okay to be selfish. How many of you have heard that? It's okay. It's okay to be selfish. Fuck being okay. It's a requirement. Fuck being okay with it. You don't need to just be okay with it. It is a requirement. Now, when I say that, what I mean by this is by this. If I'm in a lake and I'm swimming with a 5-year-old and the 5-year-old is drowning and the only way to save the 5-year-old is for me to save him and I die. Yeah, I'm in. I'm in, right? I in a heartbeat. That kid's life is more important than mine in that moment, right? I'm sacrificing. That's a sacrifice that I'm willing to do. Yes. If I'm in a plane and the plane's going down and put your oxygen mask on first. We're getting there, Amy. You put your oxygen mask on first. I'm going to have to put my oxygen mask on first to help my family, right? To help the people next to me. If there's an opportunity to take care of me first so I can help everybody else, I'm in, right? We all hear that cliche, oxygen mask, put yours on first. But your quiet time, this is where I was going to, Amy. You and I, like right here. Your quiet time is the most important time that you can have for yourself. I give myself 2 hours every day of quiet time with no son, no boyfriend, no phone calls, no Facebook, no Instagram, no YouTube, no work, none of it. No messages, none of it. I give myself 2 hours every day. And the reason why I give myself 2 hours every day, you must. I have always put me last. Not now, I need my time. No, take it from me. From ex-cabin crew, you must always put your on first. Yes, you must, right? I take 2 hours every day. And the reason why I take 2 hours every day is because in that 2 hours, I'm elevating my frequency. I'm getting into a higher state of mind. I'm feeling my inner being. I'm connecting to my inner being. I'm getting guidance. Sometimes that 2 hours is like music and me dancing for 2 hours. I swear to God. Sometimes it's 2 hours of meditation. Sometimes it's a combination of like a million different things, right? That 2 hours is my time every morning. It's mine. It belongs to me. And if my boyfriend wakes up and he comes in the room, I'm like, my time, quiet time. Quiet time, 2 hours. He's like, oh, sorry. Right? And the reason why I do that is because that time is helping me to expand and grow. It's helping me to see and maximize and recognize my own potentials, right? It's helping me to really grow within myself. But if I don't have that time, and I'm sacrificing my time for my family. Oh, I got to get this one here and that one here and do this and do that and do this and do that and do this for my clients and do this for my business. Then I'm not giving fully of myself at my highest frequency. I'm just not. And I don't care if you have your own business or if you're a mom and a wife and you are just taking care of your children at home. Like that's major stuff. I think I have so much love for women who are who decide to be in the home. So don't say my words just. But if that's what you're doing, you still need your 2 hours of me time. Because that time is going to help you elevate your frequencies. It's going to help you to get into a better space. It's going to bring you to more clarity so that you can not only be best for yourself, but be best for them too. For other safety, this is important, right? Yes, right? But I can see where that's taking a toll on my biz because I'm not getting my early morning time. You need to have the time. So if it's that the snowstorm's getting me too. If you need to go to bed earlier, or maybe, work your family around, or maybe do an hour in the evening, Amy, and an hour in the morning, or just an hour. Get your time in. It's really important. It's important to all those around you because if you really want to be the best for them, then you've got to be the best for yourself, right? You got to be the best for yourself. And another thing I want to say, which is it's probably going to be very, very unpopular. But if you're a mom, if you're a wife, if you're a husband, if you're a dad, if you are a son or a daughter, that isn't who you are. That is not who you are. Those are roles that you play. Coach is a role that you play. It's not who you are. I think a lot of us, especially women will try to define themselves in their mothering role. Men try to define themselves in their career role, right? They define themselves in their career role. Women will define themselves in their mommy role or wife role, but men will define themselves in their career role. Those are just roles. They are just roles that we play as if we were on a stage. It is not who you are. This is really important that you understand this, because I can remember when I lost my job and I got laid off as a human resource director. I was so in my job, I was so in my title, I was so in my work, that when I lost that job, I had to re-identify who I was, because I had classified myself as a human resource director. I had classified myself as a single mom. And now my kid is moving out. He's 23. He's like, I want my own life. I gotta go. Yeah, it's just a role that you play. It's just like your job, coach. It's a role that I play. Now, a lot of who I am goes into what I do, but it's just a role I play. So that 2 hours or that time, whatever you choose it to be, that time for you will help you to identify yourself. It'll help you identify who you really are. And today's little exercise is going to help you identify who you are. Okay. So, rule number 4. It's just not okay to be selfish. It's not rule. PowerPoint 4. It's just not okay to be selfish. It's a requirement to be selfish. It is a requirement to be selfish. Yes. Okay. We had some good PowerPoints today. But now I want to move you into the shift. Okay? I want to move you into the shift. It is a requirement to be selfish. Thank you, Amy. Okay. So now I want to move you in this shift. Let's get some energy rolling here, people. Let's get some energy rolling. Oh, go ahead and close your eyes and let's focus on your breath for just a moment. This is such a powerful little exercise. We were talking in day 1 about how the now moment is the moment that counts, right? And just keep breathing as I'm talking, please. Keep your eyes closed and keep breathing. In day 1, we were talking about how the now moment is the most important moment, and that the past is behind us, and that the future isn't another parallel. It's not there yet, and that we're redefining our now moments all the time. This is important. This is definitely important. But I think a lot of times when we're reflecting on a memory, we tend to focus on some of the most negative ones, right? It's really kind of cool if you really think about it. This morning I was writing an introduction for my book. I was in the middle of rewriting my introduction for my book, which I just need to keep going on with. I just need to keep moving on, right? I was rewriting the introduction for my book, and it started off with the tale of where I came from. And as I was thinking about the tale of where I came from, my mom was a single mom in 1972. It's a time when there wasn't a whole lot of single moms out there. And it was especially difficult for single moms back in those days. And we were living in the projects. And it was talking about the money story related around, living in the projects with a single mom in 1972. And as I was writing it, something stopped me, and I looked up and I went, no matter what kind of difficulties my mother had or what kind of stresses my mother had, the one thing that I can remember that was so beautiful and so positive is that my mother always made Christmas magical. I didn't care what was going on in life. I don't care what her bills were. I didn't know what her bills were, what her stresses were, how crazy she is or how crazy she isn't. The one thing that my mother always did for me was make Christmas extremely magical. Every Christmas of my entire life. She always made Christmas magical. And I started thinking about that, and I started thinking about just my magical tendencies. And it's so funny because my mother, who's very, very strong in her Christian roots, is very much against like the developing psychic abilities and things of that nature. But yet she is the one who inspired magic in me, right? She's the one who inspired magic in me. And I got to thinking about all the moments of my life that were just in joy. The moments of my life that were spent in joy. And as I was thinking about the moments in my life that were spent in joy, I realized that I have a lot more moments of life spent in joy than I had spent in something that felt bad. In my 47 years, yeah, I like to pick out the moments that felt the hardest, right? Because I like to wear my warrior stripes proudly. But as I started thinking about my life in general and the whole 47 years, all the wonderful moments of my life in between that I don't give as much of a badge of honor to, I started to really focus in on them. And as I was focusing in on the moments that I felt really incredibly grateful for, and all the moments that were very special, more memories started to come. And they were special memories, and they were beautiful memories, and more memories started to come. And that was what was coming into my now moment, was the memories of a beautiful life. The memories that have helped me to create the person that I am. And the beautiful moments in my life that make me smile and put me in a place of joy. And so this is the perfect exercise for today. As you're staring at the back of your eyelids, breathing, taking a breath, I just want you to imagine that you're turning around, facing away from your eyelids and out into the ether, out into the abyss, out into the darkness of the abyss. And before you, I want you to see a beautiful crystal hallway begin to open up. And on this crystal, in the middle of this crystal hallway it's one of those little airport teleport steps, the fast-moving walking steps. You should go ahead and start moving onto those little fast-moving steps.